3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the FRAG review show. Today we'll be reviewing the show Rent a Girlfriend, or also known in Japanese as Kanajo Okarishimasu. Um, Today I'm joined by the main guest of the show, myself, Ben, and we've also got Mac.
Yeah.
Photo. No.
Hi.
Okay.
We've got Ruben,
Hello.
and lastly Jay.
Heyo.
Okay, since it is the first episode, I'll just give a brief descriptor of the show for anyone watching. Okay, so this show is about Kazuya. He's a 20-year-old. He's just gotten out of a bad relationship with his ex-girlfriend, and well, he's using the rent-a-girlfriend service to kind of cope with that. That's as brief as it gets. Yeah, but if you watch the show, then have fun hearing us review it. Alright, so let's start with the first topic. What did everyone think about the show overall?
Overall, I would say for the first episode, it did entertain me. It held my interest, which is something that not all shows do.
Nah, especially not because you were having some trouble relating to the show, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Mac, what do you think?
Well, the animation was phenomenal. There were some parts I could loosely relate to, but for a first episode, it was quite spectacular.
Yeah. Okay. And Ruben's just a bit of a normie when it comes to the anime scene, but he'll be giving some input here and there as we review. Anyway, so the rental girlfriend service is actually a pretty interesting thing. It's a recent thing that's been coming out in Japan, especially. What do you guys think about the service? Is it anything any of you guys would use?
If you could get like a coupon for it and you could give that, or like a gift card for it and give that to somebody else, I may ironically purchase it as a gag gift for somebody, but I don't think I'd ever use it myself.
Why not?
Uh, I'm demi-romantic as hell.
So you really want that connection? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they actually go over that in the show. He has a bit of an outburst because he realizes it's all kind of fake. The person that he's paid for to be there isn't really there. You know, it's just it's a job.
Yeah. He felt like the connection was initially there, and then he felt very betrayed when it wasn't.
Yeah, even though he probably should have known, but
Yeah, you definitely should have guessed it. Like, I don't see why he felt blindsided or upset by that in any way, shape, or form, but that's his prerogative.
I get why he's upset, right? He's just like he's just broken up with his ex, and he's just having a lot of negative emotions, and I guess that's kind of pulled through with the rental girlfriend as well, because yeah, none of it felt real. What about you, Mac? What do you think about the service?
It's very similar to regular dating services we have in the West.
Wait, it is?
Obviously, the big difference is when you pay people. Obviously, I don't think I'd use it though because I'm an old-fashioned romantic. You know, I believe in fate and your true loves.
Fate and true love, yeah.
And
Aw, that's sweet.
I think the most satisfying scene, which ended up breaking me, was when they held hands towards the end of the date, only for a little shocker to be revealed.
I mean, I wouldn't call it very much of a shocker. It's in the description of the show, after all.
Yeah, Mac's just very emotional.
For a 20-year-old, Kazuya is quite. Well, he's not self-aware. Let's just say that.
Yeah, he's still young. He's going through stuff. Ruben,
We all be going through stuff. That's just life.
what do you think, Ruben? Would you ever use like a rental girlfriend service?
It depends what all the perks are. Like, will the girl clean for me? Will she wash my dog?
Um,
I'm a little distressed as to what you look for in a girlfriend, Ruben.
Well, it's a rental service. I want my money's worth, you know.
I mean, if you could
Fair
rent
enough,
someone
I
for a day,
suppose,
just
but
for
I
like,
mean,
he's an
that's-
old-fashioned gentleman. He
What?
wants the woman
I
to.
mean, that's renting a maid, not renting a whole girlfriend. You
Yeah,
know?
well,
the whole rent a girlfriend thing
maybe you
sounds
want
like
your girlfriend
an
to be a
escort,
maid.
Wait, what does it sound like, Ruben?
an escort service.
An escort.
I mean,
Kind of,
it's
kind of.
like.
Yeah.
So you know how you can like look up in fan fiction there's there's fluff versus smut, like, you know, an escort is the smut and then the rent a girlfriend is a fluff.
It's not
You
like
feel?
it's not like I would ask that in my actual girlfriend, but obviously, labor is divided when you're in a serious relationship. But if you're renting that, maybe push more of the more annoying tasks onto the rented girlfriend.
I mean,
Alright.
there is a scene
can
where
see that Ruben's
Chadwick
not a
tries
fan
to make
then.
a pursuit, and she instantly pushes him away as soon as he makes a pursuit. So I'm not sure it's similar to an escort service. That's for
A
sure.
patoot?
He tries to pursue her when they're underneath the covers, doesn't he?
Oh, okay.
Oh
okay.
no,
I've
not
never.
all. That's a prostitute service. An escort service is literally just escort you around arm candy.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So let me just clear this up. So I have read a bit ahead in the manga as well. So they actually tell you a bit more about how the rental service typically works and like the rules behind it and all that. So with the rental girlfriend service, like they're very strict about like not being very forward and not doing anything to like leading with the girlfriends, right? You can't do that. The most they do
Oh,
really is like
they protect their workers.
yeah. So the most you do is like handhold and whatever. I guess maybe they can bend the rules a little bit depending on the person, but you can't. Like there's
You
strict.
just don't. You do it under the table.
Yeah. So it's an escort service. Like it can go anywhere, but there's no expectation. There's no like 100% guarantee for anything. So
Hmm.
yeah, Ruben, you're not really a fan.
A fan of what?
The rental service then.
No, I could be a fan. It feels highly
If she does-
personalized.
Give your meat a good old rub. That's it. Nice and hot. Hot and spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
She does your chores for you.
Exactly.
If he can get a maid, you'll be a fan.
I just think that finding a girl, for arm candy is just so easy these days that you don't really need to rent that.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
But finding a maid and all of that stuff.
Where do you live that it is so easy to find arm candy? Can I move there?
Ruben's a bit of a player, but yeah. Wait, so
I mean, me too, mate, but
yeah. So obviously, like, no one really likes it. But could any of you actually see yourself using it for something, like anything?
Like legitimately?
Yeah,
Like not like instead of a maid or instead of a.
Well, yeah. I guess that counts too. Just like for like, what would you actually legitimately see yourself using the service for? I don't think they'll clean for you though, Ruben. I don't think that's a
Okay.
thing.
Well, pretty bad girlfriend service, but yeah, I could
I would-
legitimately see myself using it if I was, if I had no partner at the time and I was going to like a fancy party or something.
well, I guess I could kind of see. That sounds like the plot of another anime.
Yeah, that's definitely a one way you could use it. Anyone else?
I really
I'm-
just only ever use it as a joke.
If I added the opposing gender, I might find a use for it. But
What kind of use?
yeah,
What kind of use, Mac?
well, sometimes people get lonely, and just having someone to talk to, it helps.
Even if
You know,
it's
that's-
even if it's all kind of like superficial and it's all fake, none of it's really real. At the end of the
I mean,
day, 'cause
chances are I
that's-
don't give two
that's-
shits about them either. I just want someone to talk.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
Desperate times
Well,
call for
that's-
desperate measures, my dude, and sometimes, the suicide hotline just won't cut it.
I mean, if you can pay them to listen to
Wow.
your opinions and pretend to care, that's great.
That's actually fantastic. It's kind of like you're using them, not them using you.
All right.
Massive manipulation.
Well, yeah, that's kind of
It's
what.
like mutual manipulation. They're using you for your money. You're using them as like a blank wall to talk to. And
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have the money for it. So, um, yeah, the thing is, Kazuya's pretty well off because his parents own a shop and they make a lot of money, so that's how he can actually afford the service. Um, just a little bit of an insight for you guys.
It
Alright.
didn't look like the girlfriend costed that much money though, because it was like what, 15,000 yen, and that's like what, $150?
It can get pretty pricey, I think.
$150, honestly, for a service like that, I don't think is that expensive.
For a rental girlfriend service?
Moment.
Do you have something in mind for a budget?
I was thinking, like 15.
1,500 or 15,000?
15,000.
you can get a lot more in Australia for that
You
price.
can get a lot more for less in Australia for that price.
A lot less.
Yeah,
Huh.
you could get a lot more for less.
I guess I'm just a high class American jerk then.
Yeah.
We don't like paying much for anything in America.
I guess we learned something about Jay today.
I mean, you could give people copper coins where I live and they'd probably sleep with you. So.
I
I
mean,
can't give too much
personally,
input.
what I like soft whispers and a nice erotic dance, but I mean, copper coins works too.
Alright, let's move on to the next topic. So what do you guys think of the main character, Kazuya? Jay?
His
I
personality
don't
split
think a
is-
lot of him.
Well, what are your impressions? Do you like him as a character? Is he just kind of bland for you?
I think he's very entertaining to watch just because he is so dramatic at every point in time, and I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but either way it's very entertaining to watch, mostly because he's the only dramatic person.
He is a bit dramatic, and I know a lot of other people that watch the show kind of don't really like that. But in a way, I also think it's. I mean, maybe
It
it's a
adds
bit,
to the humor.
maybe it's a bit overboard, and yeah, it is pretty funny. But some of it is also a bit realistic, right? People overreact, especially like, with breakups and stuff.
In an emotionally vulnerable state.
That's right. Yeah, unless you've actually had that happen, like it can do really weird things to you. So, what do you think, Mac?
I've done some weird stuff in the aftermath of a breakup before.
See, I would argue on the opposing end of Jay's statement. I preferred in the very start where he was a bit more reclined and reposed and he was a bit shy. And we see that come back when he kind of reflects back on his grandmother's business. I prefer that side of him. But when he found out about the scam, his personality completely did a 180 and he became very spiteful and I don't know. I wasn't a fan.
Honestly, I think he was absolutely 100% in the wrong for being so spiteful over the scam, because even in, the throes of heartbreak, he should have had enough cognitive reasoning to be able to be like, yo, I'm renting a girlfriend. She's gonna do girlfriendy things. She's
Yeah.
gonna fake it till we make it.
He's I guess you can chalk it up to him being a bit of an amateur, right? Like he's only so that ex-girlfriend of his was actually his first, right? He's not really experienced with that kind of thing and like going out with girls, so he's probably getting really flustered when this really cute girl's coming up to him and like telling him all these like cute nothings and whatever, and it kind of I guess it's very professional, but to someone who's just like an amateur like Kazuya, it like really gives him these delusions in his head, right? And that kind of fuels it.
He was kind of asking for it, and so I don't even feel like it's realistic. I feel like it's just spiteful, but I suppose
Hey, anime is meant to extrapolate to the extreme.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's the anime
It definitely
effect.
does, yeah. Alright.
What else do you watch anime for if not the absolute extremes of everything?
Yeah, that's why I like my battle shonen, but that's a topic for another time. So what do we guys think of Chizuru?
Honestly, I feel sorry for Chizuru. Like, she really did nothing wrong and was just treated horribly.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just doing her job.
She just did her job, man. She did what was asked of her, and then he went ballistic on her.
Yeah. he got a bit emotional there, but yeah. I know what happens later on, so yeah.
You know what happened 6 chapters in, my friend, not later on.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So I know a little bit more about her character and all that, but yeah. What do you think, Mac?
I reckon she was quite cute, and I rather liked it where she, at the end of the aquarium scene, she managed to bombard him with her own little aggression. I do hope for,
You like the
since it's a,
you like
yeah, I
the
liked it
tough
being a bit
women?
feisty. Let's just say that. But
Now we know
since
how Mac likes his women.
it's a rental
Well, Mac doesn't even like
service,
women,
I
but
as-
yeah, if he
I assume
was,
there's going to be more women in it, and I really want Chizuru to be the main love interest if anything does sprout, because
well, she definitely
yeah.
is the one of the main characters.
Oh, there is one thing I've got written on my little pad here in capital letters. Glasses. When Chizuru wears glasses, I was swept away and I fell in love instantly. Let's just let's just say that.
Aww.
You like
Waifu
that smart,
material?
cheeky look?
Her glasses with her pigtails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she waifu material for you, Mac?
No, because it's a female. But she's close
She's
enough.
waifu material for me.
Yeah, she's pretty waifu.
My gay ass went over the moon.
Alright. Even Jay's a fan. Okay.
Yeah, but like, it's not hard for me to be a fan. You put cute girls in front of me and I go buck wild.
I mean, glasses and pigtails. Oh look, it definitely goes with the the theme of like deception and deceit. That's for sure. Because she looks completely different, and that's why I love
I
it.
wouldn't say she looks completely different, but I will admit she does look fairly different.
Well, her profile is different. That's what you look for.
She does look. She does. Yeah. I mean, if you weren't that close, you probably couldn't tell it was her.
If you didn't have your glasses on, is that what you're saying?
I don't have glasses. I'm just saying. No. Yeah, in this show, what I actually like, one of the things about it is so the characters in the show actually have a lot of different clothing styles and different clothes consistently.
Oh yeah, I wrote that down too.
I like that they change it up and the hairstyle changes as well. Like that's not something you actually typically see in any like manga or anime, but they actually
Yeah,
do
oftentimes in anime, characters have the same outfit scheme that they, it's their signature thing, so you can rank up that sweet, sweet money in cosplay revenue.
Yeah, artists get lazy and they don't want to like draw different things, but
Mhm.
this artist actually draws a lot of different clothes and styles and stuff, and I guess that's pretty admirable.
Yeah, what was with? Oh my goodness, I almost had a stroke when I saw him in his bright orange shirt and then like baseball
Stripy
home
trousers.
team white striped pants. What was with that? I nearly me and my formal wear, history of menswear, everything knowledge nearly had a stroke when I saw that. What?
It never
I mean,
really
considering he's
catched
in
my radar.
college, he's in
It
college.
would be an
and he's wearing,
insult
like,
to
a
call it
basketball-
fashion faux pas. It would be an insult to the
Alright,
term
Jay.
fashion faux pas to call
Alright,
it a
fashion
fashion
police
faux
here.
pas.
Jeez. It like nothing nothing catched my radar with any of Kazuya's outfits. I don't get what.
I mean, it was a little confusing because the outfit Jay was on, but it looked like a basketball outfit, and he was in college. But
It wasn't even
maybe-
basketball. It looked like it wanted to be a marriage between basketball and baseball. Those pants
I
are
mean-
not basketball pants.
There's a chance that he's just a very sporty kid then,
No,
but
he's
we don't know.
he's
Any
definitely not a
sporty kid would not mix two sport
mean,
uniforms
I think-
together unless they're trying to show off.
I think
And
you
like,
kinda
he's
get
not
that.
a show off, pop off kind of guy.
No, but he did want his appearance to
right.
be known.
I mean,
His,
yeah, if you want
his
your
outfits
appearance to be
seem-
known, show up to your first date in a suit and tie, not your baseball pants from first grade and a basketball shirt.
Jay, if I was
But
paying
he-
$150 for a rental girlfriend service, I'd assume they wouldn't give a shit what I come in, dude. Like that's part
Yeah.
of the price.
Oh, well, obviously, but like, I give a shit when I come in.
Well, the
I mean,
girlfriend
when-
obviously has to do something, but
When Chizuru was mentioning his description, she literally just had his clothes to work off. So, I guess that's why.
I know, but you can stand out from the crowd without looking like a Neanderthal.
you what? Oh my gosh, Jay, you are just fucking harsh with this fashion.
Shoes? No. Pants? No. Shirt? No. Overall, just no.
It just
I'm
looks
harsh
standard
with
to me.
everyone's fashion. If you don't know, if you look like you don't know what you're wearing, I immediately dislike you.
It's quite
she's gonna
amusing.
love you,
She
Ruben.
does not like Kazuya's fashion, and I don't like his personality. Oh my.
Yeah.
Snap, did I mute?
No, we can still hear you.
Oh no, I accidentally muted. I deafened myself.
Oh my.
Yeah. So you guys are like that. So I know that you guys also like the music. What do you think about it?
The music, I wouldn't say I liked it. It just amused me because there's a lot of classics in there. We hear in the first few minutes of the show, you hear the funeral march. I don't remember who does funeral march. And then in the grandma scene, when you first meet her and she finds out that he has a girlfriend, it plays Spring by Vivaldi, I think is his name, is the person who did Spring. Anybody who knows it about me, correct me in the comments below.
Yeah, I don't think anyone here would know, but yeah, maybe someone else does.
Maybe. Gotta get that sweet video interaction, right?
Yeah, it sounded very familiar when I was going through, but
Yeah,
like,
do
I
do
don't know.
do 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 do. That's Spring by Vivaldi. And
Yeah,
then I don't
I didn't know
remember
what it was
when,
from.
but at some point they play Canon in D by Pachelbel, and I was like, well, why? But everything is Canon in D by Pachelbel. If anybody has seen the
Can you
I'll
give
see
us-
you in hell Pachelbel rant.
Give us a tune of that, Jay. I don't know what it is. Oh, okay. Wait, they actually played that? When?
Yeah.
When?
I don't remember. I just wrote it's in my notes here, and it's sometime between the grandma scene and the first scene of the show because that's where it is in my notes.
Okay. It might have been like when they were like out walking or something.
Or maybe they didn't. Yeah. Or maybe they didn't play the Melodia. Maybe they played the. That's the bass line, and that's a very common chord progression in music.
Yeah. Are you familiar with that one, Mac? Or is that one?
I used familiar noises, that's for sure. But
Wait, you actually don't know
I
what
was
that's
singing
from?
it at about 5,000% speed. You know, speed running Pachelbel.
although the music, like I said, the music wasn't used a lot in the episodes. When it was used effectively. But it was also muted. It wasn't like your regular anime series where the music would be the focus. It was in the background.
Mhm.
So I didn't focus on listening to it, but it calmed me whenever it played. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I'd say the rest of the music did a very good job at setting tone and it entertained me. Like, I thought it was fun. I thought it was very, very expressive.
Yeah. I know that Mac actually really liked the animation. What do you guys think of the animation?
Pretty par for the course, I'd say. Most animation these days is pretty nice to look at. I wouldn't say there's anything out of the ordinary, except for I remember noting it. There were some points where they didn't just use black as the outline color, and I liked that. You don't see that very often. Usually, to outline most everything, they use black, and then sometimes they will use different colors.
Yeah.
But or rather in other anime they will use different colors. Like I think in the Pekaro Sakuraso they use red. There are times in Your Lie in April where they use red, and then in this one, instead of using black or red or other colors or colors that contrasted, they used matching colors for a lot of the outlining, and I liked that. That was visually pleasing for me.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things is the manga has a really rough art style, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, it it's okay, but yeah, when they animated it, they made it a lot better. So it looks really nice to me, at least.
I mean, I think a lot of manga in the beginning have a very rough art style because oftentimes the mangaka
it's pretty.
has to,
Yeah, it's
find their stride. They have to improve their art, and so you look at things like Snow White with the red hair or Attack on Titan, and
wait.
you can watch how the drawings improve dramatically as the series continues.
If anything, I figured Snow White would have like a really good manga art style, because it just seems like one of those shows where they'd put a lot of attention into that.
Oh, the manga art style the whole time is beautiful, but it improves as it continues. The uses of shading and lighting start to change. They use watercolor at times. It's wonderful.
Yeah, the Rent-A-Girlfriend manga, it's pretty rough. I guess I'll put some references for it on screen for like the viewers to see the differences. But yeah, so that's that. So he's had some bad experiences with relationships in the past. Have any of you guys had anything like similar or like something bad that's put you in like this really kind of like negative state? Jay loves it.
そうかそうよねそう
Go on, Jay. Elaborate. I've been waiting for this.
It's a whole story, man. I think last time I told this story, it probably took like 20 minutes. So if you want to extend the length of the video, I could go for it. But I guess to condense it,
we've got about maybe like I think 10 more minutes for like a good sweet spot to end the video.
Yeah. I would say to not take up all the time. Yes, I've had bad partner experiences. My first partner, I met when I was 11, fell in love when I was 14, got together with her when I was 15. And being an LGBT teen raised in a conservative religious family, that creates all sorts of problems. And hid the relationship, and then like maybe a year and a half after we had started being together, 2 days after my birthday, she broke up with me. And then like 2 months later, I found out she'd been cheating on me for 7 months of our relationship, and I got hospitalized. I was so heartbroken. Literally, I went into a state called DKA where my body I couldn't eat anything, and so my body started to eat itself.
Whoa.
And I went into the hospital for it. And eventually I left the house, I went to go see a bunch of my siblings scattered across the states. And I started to do a lot better. And then after, my ex found out that I had been hospitalized, they reached out to me and we talked, and we're like, actually, we really miss each other. And we're back together now, actually.
You're back together. Currently.
Yeah, we're back together. Currently, yeah. Currently at, what is it? 9:41 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Friday, July 10th. He's a he now. He and I are back together.
Okay, and oh well, I won't go more into it because it might take too much time. That's interesting. Mac, what about you?
I mean, I think I've been lucky not to have any bad relations with people.
Wait, you haven't had any breakups? Like even just
I haven't been in a relationship for breakups to happen.
Oh wow.
I've had breakups with a lot of friends over the years, but due to my memory loss, I forgot how half of them have happened. Um,
Man,
but
friend breakups are the worst.
I think I've been quite lucky, and that's be I I've grown up in a very humble and caring family structure. It's mostly matriarchal. There's hardly any men in it.
Seems like it,
I'm
yeah.
alongside this anime, I've managed to. I don't know. It's Kazuya has a good relationship with his grandparents, and it's the same with me. So I relate on
Yeah.
a good relationship level.
I thought you might have
So
related to that because yeah, you
yeah,
also
I'm
were pretty
lucky.
close with your grandma.
I don't have grandparents. They're all dead.
Yeah, mine died when I was pretty young too, so
Yeah. 3 of my grandparents I never met, and my grandfather died. My father's father died, like, when I was 14.
yeah, like that's not too young. I guess you might have been able to like hang out with them by that point.
Not really. He was ailing.
Oh, okay.
He was an old man.
I think my great nan passed away when I was 10 or 11, and I've still got one great nan now, who I spend most of my time with, and then I have my regular grandparents as well. Then, so I'm kind of lucky, I suppose.
Well, ain't we the hoi polloi?
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder
They
like what it'd
decided
be
to
like
breed
to still
quick.
have your like grandparents around. Because they do seem like they're generally like cooler in real life and in anime. Ruben? I know that Ruben's had some experiences.
Not a single bad breakup. No, alright, so
But
should we go
Ruben,
with we'll go with the
Ruben,
worst?
Ruben, you've got some pretty yeah, some pretty rough stuff.
Let's
Alright, we'll go with the worst
rougher
one.
than me. Rougher. Let's be real here, okay?
Yeah,
He may have some
rougher
rough
than
stuff.
you. Rougher than you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
impressive.
We'll go
Jay,
straight
don't
into the
even
worst
question
one.
it. Don't even
All right.
So in 2011, my mum died,
Oof.
and I wasn't very emotionally there for my fiance, so she started cheating on me and broke up with me later,
Oh damn.
and that's the whole story.
Was that was that
I'll
your
just keep it.
was that your first?
I don't know if I call that rougher than me though, because like
That's a very short story.
partner and I I had a ring on my finger. We had promise rings and everything.
We had engagement rings, and my mum died right beforehand. So
Wait, Ruben, who was your first?
But did you go to the hospital?
I'm not talking about that.
$1 million question. Okay, but have you been to a mental hospital? Because I have had both.
I'm not talking about that.
He's yeah, Jay, he's had some like rough experiences.
Fun fact for the viewers: Ruben is recording from a mental hospital right now.
Yeah.
I was trying to give the very short version.
Ruben would be Ruben. Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna make that joke. Ruben, what was your first? Take us through your first.
My first.
Yeah.
My first girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like proper girlfriend, because like in high school I had a new girlfriend every month. Like I wouldn't call them proper girlfriends.
It's a player.
I'd say my first like proper relationship was around 17, right before 18.
Yeah, so this was like the first one you were actually like invested in emotionally, right?
Yeah, I actually named my WoW character after her that I ended up getting rank 1 in the world on.
Oh, nice. That's sweet. But also, ouch.
There was this girl that we'd go to a family camp every year from Boxing Day till a bit after New Year's Day. You know, all of our family would be there, and we'd meet up every year, and we were really close friends. There was always like small feelings there, and then eventually, when I was 17, we started kissing.
Okay.
And we hung out a bit, hung out a bit for the next month, and we were kind of together, I guess. But I don't know. We just kind of drifted apart and ignored each other, or she ignored me.
Wait, was it mutual? Did you not really care when everything settled?
I cared, but it's kind of like, I feel like when you're young in your first proper relationship, you feel like you're way more attached than you are.
You didn't sound like you felt like you were that attached.
Short stories.
I
short
disagree.
stories.
I think if you feel very attached, you are incredibly attached.
This is a discussion. That discussion right there is off video. Don't want to take up too much time getting into philosophies.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I feel, at least personally, and a lot of people I know, like you're so attached to the first person you get with, you know, your first proper relationship, first feelings of love.
Yeah.
Like a few people can make it until they're an adult and stay together, but
Well, I better hope my first is my last, Chan.
no,
Because
I feel that it's different when you're an adult and it happens.
I was going to say I'm a very fragile person if the
And
first is the
and I'm
most emotional.
And I'm not talking like young adult. I'm talking like mid-20s, and it's like a different story.
Yeah. See, the thing that I like about this show in particular is I see myself relating to Kazuya a bit, right? He's an older guy. I like that the story is set with a main character in his 20s, right? There's no high school setting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty over that. And I like that it's kind of going through those trial, like the traits and like all the things that happen with like relationships and exes and all that stuff. Yeah, because the way I see it, especially earlier in life, right, with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, breaking up, it leaves you like depressed initially, and then maybe you might get a bit of resentment when you're getting out of that depressed state, and then you start getting to be normal, right? And I think when the show started, he was in that resentment kind of phase. So that's where I kind of connected with the character a little bit, kind of understood why he had this outburst and all that.
I mean, the two people I do relate to in the show are women, so that's all I'm going to say.
I mean, from like a yeah, okay. Anyway, I think we've been going for a bit. I think we can wrap up the review now. It's been good having everyone on. I'm glad that everyone could come on and talk about this, and we'll continue with the show every. Well, I might post it up every Saturday, and that's if you're living in Australia, it would be Saturday or around there. Yeah, so for anyone that's watching, thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to the show, and we'll keep it posted every week. So, thanks, guys. Bye.